Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. Tribal Tuesday and Mindset Magic are still open to get your seat. You can do that on the link in the description box below. If you haven't got your seat on the Purpose Alignment session, it's just £11. It's a webinar on the 1st of February. You can check that out in the link in the description box below. It's for the same price as 2 coffees. You can really find what your purpose is and find ways to activate that for your life path. And finally, the Retrograde Survival Kit is £10 off at the moment. You can get yours in the link in the description box below. With that said, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what the week ahead has in store for you, your actions and your path. What is taking place for you this week, my dear Geminis? And this week you get the Two of Cups. I love this, right? So there's a few things that come to mind straight away when I see this card for you. The first one is this week you really are about your collaborations and your connections. This is about you either strengthening the bonds that you currently have or maybe seeking out new ones. Your actions and your path is what you do. It's how you move through the world, but also what happens on that path. You got the Two of Cups. So this is either you aligning with or collaborating with a very like mind or soul. For some of you, this could be about your partnerships. When it comes to relationships, the feeling that I'm picking up from this card actually is that you really are focused this week on making your relationship better. It feels for me like some of you have had relationships that have suffered, and this Two of Cups is basically saying this week you're going to do what you can. It's almost like you're putting the effort where it needs to be. But collaborations, connections look absolutely wonderful. This could be a really great week for anything where you're working with others or maybe finding people that you want to align with. Gorgeous energy. Your communications and conversations, you've got the Five of Wands. Now this is interesting to me because the Five of Wands can be about competition, it can be about dance, it can be, it can be so many different things, right? And when you get the Five of Wands in the communications, it feels for me like this is a lot of people talking at once, like everybody's got an opinion, everybody's got something to say. Now, for the most part, this is a good thing because stimulus kind of breeds, when you get stimulated by things that are happening in your world, it makes things happen, which is gorgeous. But the other thing about this is it may very well be that spirit of competition. And it really feels for me like this week you're saying to yourself, is this serving the connections that I have? Is my social circle impacting on any one of my relationships, be it professional, personal, or platonic? So this week you could really be asking yourself that. And, sometimes our groups and our people spur us on and sometimes they hold us back. And I feel like this week you're going through the process or certainly having the conversation in order. It's kind of like whatever conversations you're having, they're exploratory in nature so that you can really figure out, are these people actually for me or are they not? That seems to be a really running thread throughout this whole week. A lot of people really starting to understand who their people are, what their tribe looks like, and who they actually want in and around their lives. Your money and materials this week, you've got the King of Wands. So you are on a mission when it comes to your money, right? This is about you looking to make some very good decisions, but also looking to make some really good moves financially. Your King of Wands could be a fire sign person. This would be a Libra, really, Raph? A Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries. And when this card shows up for your money, it really does mean that you're ready to start marshalling your resources, not just for, for what needs to be done and the budget and everything, but it looks like you're about to have more fun. This could be a week where, one of the words that I use for Geminis that some people don't like is frivolous. Frivolity has its place in life. Sometimes you're just meant to do things for the sheer simple pleasure of doing them. And this week, because obviously you've got the Five of Wands there, it looks like some of the groups that you're connecting with this week, it is about fun. It's about going out. It's about enjoying that connection that you have with people. And this King of Wands is kind of saying, you know what? Show up, be counted. And really, this is about making your money work for you this week. And this doesn't mean in terms of actual working and investments and all of that. It's about really spending money on the things that are actually going to make you happy, that are going to bring you joy. Even if the experience is fleeting and it's not necessarily one that you can keep, good times had are food for the soul, regardless. All right, so keep that in mind this week. With your love and relations, you have the Temperance card. I know I said this straight away when I saw that Two of Cups. I really do feel a lot of reconciliation this week when it comes to relationships. I feel like there's a lot of really gorgeous connections coming back in. For those of you that had you know, maybe that telepathic communication or energy with your partner, but then seem to have kind of lost it, or maybe it just wasn't there anymore, or maybe it's gone through a period of being dormant. For those of you that may have had trouble in your personal relationships, this Temperance card is not only bringing balance, but because it comes with the Two of Cups, it suggests that those sort of spiritual, you know, dare I even say it, you know, I don't use these words, but soulmate sort of energy is coming back into an existing relationship. For those of you that are already in relationships, I feel like whatever troubles or difficult times you've had, those are now coming to an end. And this week, and it could happen really quickly, that you guys just figure out, you know what, why are we going against each other when we're actually for each other and together? Utilize that energy to the best of your ability. And then for those of you that are single, this is really asking you to bring in, you know, like to bring in, or rather to find out who actually speaks to your soul. Who is it that you really connect with on a level that feels good for you on a spiritual level, as well as everything else? I kind of feel like the thread for Geminis for a long time is that they've been transitioning out of this sort of outside, external, material-based world into their internal world, and making that a lot more rich, a lot more dynamic, and ultimately a lot more fulfilling. The fact that you've got this Temperance card here as well, in terms of relations, again, if you've had rocky patches with family members, possibly even for some of you, somebody that you've had an issue with for some time, this could, you know, could see that real sort of reconciliation energy coming through, which is really, really nice to see. And then finally, for your key to the week, what you need to know, or the extra message, is the Temperance card. Right, your Temperance card represents the sign of Sagittarius. It talks about meaning, it talks about blending various different things, and it's the process of spiritual alchemy. It's that moment where you find a way to incorporate everything in your life. It's the way that it's when you find the right balance, the right mix of ingredients in order to bake something to perfection, so to speak. The fact that you've got this as your key to the week, it really does suggest that Spirit is working through, talking to, you know, is really working through your life this week. And when it comes to love, relationships, and, you know, social circles, and even with your finances, a lot of things are really, you're going to discover the meaning behind them this week. This is about you really starting to discover, okay, these are the reasons why certain things are happening. This is why I'm having certain experiences. Or figuring out that the reason you've had certain experiences is because the lessons that you learned in your past can be directly utilized in the present moment for whatever it is that you're facing now. And that really does rely heavily on having the right people around you, and knowing that sometimes it's okay to just be frivolous, right? I'm not saying, you know, throw the baby out with the bathwater and, you know, go and bet the house on the roulette table. What I'm saying is, if you've got money, don't sort of do that whole, oh, must keep it and, you know, set a budget. This is a week for you where you can expand and just go out and do things that are going to feed your soul, that are going to make you happy. Like I said, good times had and good experiences had are food for the soul. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care. I'll see you soon.